What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. I recorded this video earlier, but I was angry, and I said I wasn't going to get all energetic in my videos anymore. It's not angry, it's more passionate. You know, a lot of times I try and teach this stuff to women, and, I have a saying. I said it on Facebook. I made a Facebook video about this, a live video. Rather than admit the truth about their nature, they would rather cut themselves from the belly to the throat with a serrated, rusted, dull knife. And I mean this physically, quite literally. They would literally do that. I'm not talking figuratively. I mean, they would take a dull, rusty knife and cut themselves before they admit that what you're saying is true about their nature. I'm going to say something that's controversial. And if you want to unfollow me, you don't want to like me anymore or whatever else, I can accept that. Be you male or female. I'm going to say this and I'm going to quantify it. So if you want to stick past this point when I make the controversial statement, fine. If you don't, fine. But today has solidified this in my mind, that men are intrinsically better than women. Period, point, fact. No one will ever change my mind about this again. I won't ever think of any sort of equity between the sexes. It's not possible. You know why? And now here comes the qualification, the quantification. I will quantify my statement. Men are better than women because we have to be. If you listen to Turd Filling Monkey, he brings in the science behind it. And he talks about sexual dimorphism, greater size, greater brain mass, means more computational power of the brain and whatnot. And that actually might be true. But I don't think Allah is unjust like that. And women have proven that they have the capacity and capability to create and build things. It's more of the exception than the norm, but it is established. Long historical establishment that women have been engineers, scientists, doctors, some of them great. So the capacity is there. But you know what's not there? It's the necessity is not there. And that's because the world provides women with deference, and that's biological. This biological deference that all males and all species provide to females allows them to be lesser than the males. So, women are down here, men are up here, because we gotta be better. We have to shine. I can't go outside in a tube top and a bikini pants and everybody will give me the world and throw it at my feet because I got on bikini pants and a tube top. Dudes are going to look at me crazy. I might get a beat down depending on the neighborhood. I go outside dressed like that with my big beard. But a woman, hey, shorty, and dudes will put her in a nice house. Dudes will give her a nice car. Dudes will make her famous. You don't believe me? Look at Kim Kardashian, a bum. Look at that girl, the bald-headed one that's with Wiz Khalifa. I forgot her name. Bum. How many bum women became famous off of nothing but their beauty? Bums. She should be working in Hooters with French fries stuck in her tube top. That's the best she should ever be. But some guy who spent his entire life building up his brand as an individual drug her up from the dirt hole that she's supposed to be in and made her into something special. There is not a world where women will do that for men. It doesn't happen. Because you know what? They don't have to be. And so when you teach this stuff, and I'm talking about this stuff, this is how it started. I had this conversation about this with a woman about relationships, trying to help her. And she argues and whatever else, and just, I don't know if she ignores it. I don't know if she can't understand it. But it's a consistent thing that I've noticed in women in general, except for there's exceptions. There are exceptions. But the vast majority, 99%, will deny it, even though it's demonstrably proven to be true, even in themselves. And you point it out to them, and then they do these mental backflip hamster wheel rationalizations to try and prove that it's not them, thus proving even further that a book about women written by men is true. Because we have to be that good in order to succeed in life. And you, as a woman, don't. So this is what feminism is. This is why feminism exists, and it will never go away, men. And women understand this. Because you're always here, and men have to progress and be up here, because that's what it takes to shine in the eyes of women so we can get in your underwear. And then you're going to look up here and you're like, oh, those men are up there. And then you're going to demand rights, special rights and favors that you didn't earn to get up there. And then you're going to get up there and then the playing field is all screwed up again. So guys are going to be like, well, damn, I'm not shining anymore. So what's he going to do? He's going to work harder to shine and he's going to end up here again. And you're going to be down here where he drugged you up. And then you're going to be like, he's up there now. It's not fair. You're always going to be behind because you can't be up there with us. You don't have to be. You don't have to be better. That's why you'll never be better. That's why men are always better. And this goes into epigenetics now. Now I'm going to go on like Turd Flinging Monkey. And this epigenetic need to always be better goes from one generation to the next. So every generation of men is always going to be better. And every generation of women is always going to be complacent, which means you're constantly getting worse. This is why marriage has fallen off and sex hasn't. Because what? There was a trade-off at one point when there was more equity. Women got commitment for sex. Men got sex for his commitment. Now men don't have to commit, but he's getting sex. This is why the creation of red pill ideology and pickup artists has completely destroyed anything that feminism thought that they were going to accomplish. Red pill ideology is the answer to feminism, and we're freaking slaying it. Women, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, read this book. Read the predecessor to it. Go out and read all the books, all the forums, and you're going to understand how far behind the game you are. You think you're not. You really do, because you're like, oh, times are good and this, that, the other. But the blue pill revolution, it's coming. It's horrible to watch it happening. And you can't see it, or you refuse to. You're so far behind the game, you don't even see it anymore because you think you're in the lead. It's so bad that we openly talk about it and you still think you're winning. You are absolutely being mocked by men. Openly. It's not even a secret. And you're so arrogant that you refuse to even, for a second, understand. If you're even capable to understand how far and how great men have jumped the game on you. We are better. We have to be. Because otherwise we wouldn't get in your pants. And now we're getting in your pants in record scores. If I showed you the list of women that are lined up to marry me, dickhead me, you'd be like, holy smokes, what the hell's going on? And I'm open about who I am. I give everybody this link. And I just want the best for you. I really do. I want to see women married. I don't want to see you. Do you really think I want a world? I'm a Muslim. I don't want a world full of whores. Do you think I want you to have a bigger body count than a serial murderer? I don't. I really don't. But that can't be appreciated. You can't understand it. And I try and teach women, and you know what? It just frustrates me. And when you only have like 2 or 3 responsive women, it's just really, and then the vast majority are irresponsive or unresponsive and or just absently rejecting what you're saying when you're trying to help. It's hard not to be sexist when you see this. When you're like, no, look, listen, this is like this and like this and like this. And you're giving it in like piecemeal stuff. My son is 14. I explain this to him and he gets it. It's unbelievable. He's 14 and he gets it. I break it down to him about scarcity mindset. I break it down to him about negging and these different PUA tactics. And you know what? My son gets it. He's 14. How are you going to challenge that as a woman when he's already up on the game at 14 years old and he can picture it? He can look at it and he can look at what society is trying to convince him to be and what I'm telling him. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. My daughter gets it. My daughter is an exception. She watches my channel. My daughter is an exception. I have exception women in my life. I can't accept otherwise. How can I accept otherwise? If you're not going to be the exception, we're going to have a difficult relationship together. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm ranting. You know, I really got to stop letting this stuff stress me out. But I do wish the best for you people, and that's why I made this channel. And today has just brought me to the conclusion that we are better because we have to be. And you can hate me for that. You probably will hate me for that. But it's the truth. It's out of necessity. And that necessity has become biological. How can it not become biological? Epigenetics. Your environment shapes what you become from one generation to the next. There's nothing in Islam that opposes this idea. It's just how it's going to be. If you're in a harsh environment, one generation to the next is going to be stronger than the next. If you're in an easy environment, it's going to be lackadaisical. If your environment demands higher thought for survival, what's going to happen? Next generation is going to be smarter than the next. White people aren't better than anyone else in the world. They just moved to a region of the world, Europe, that is exceptionally difficult to live in. And they had to be people who had a strong connection to what's it called? Deferral of gratification. You can't eat your seed crops and hope to plant next year and survive the next winter. They had to be people who used their mind consistently to survive harsh, long winters. That's what Europe has. They're long winters. It's gotten easier recently, but this is just a simple fact. They're not smarter than anyone else. Well, actually they are. Epigenetics has led to it. And in Africa, where development was exceptionally slow, year-round, nice warm weather, year-round food available by way of animals, fruits, and vegetables. There was no environmental pressure for great survival and struggle. And this is what women you have done to men. And this is why you're perpetually going to be behind the power curve when it comes to getting accomplishments in society with men. Despite your progressions and everything in your advances you've made, they weren't earned. They were given to you by men. Therefore, you're still going to be behind the power curve. You demanded something, you were given it. You didn't earn it. Men work their way to where they are right now. It's not hate. I don't hate women. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying guys should hate women. And this is not a green light to go out and, be a misogynistic pig and hate women. I'm not giving that green light here. But what I'm saying is, know your place. Know your lane. Even amongst men, I have to accept that there's just certain planes and plateaus I'm never going to reach. We have to accept that as men. And that's why we get better. Because if there's a plateau on a plane I'm here and I'm like, you know what? Damn, I don't like it. You know what? I got to go do something about it. I can't say, oh, well, there's that guy over there. Maybe I can bang my way up to him. Not unless he's gay. Maybe it'll work then. But I'm not taking any sort of hot dog up my sock. It's not going to happen. So we'll leave that to you ladies. Anyway, controversial, like I said. This has been solidified in me as of today. This is not an idea I had before today. I'm almost disappointed in myself. Almost. No, not really. Anyway, this is your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All that, Abuamerican. I'm out.